Hello everyone and now welcome to a game between I believe this is SaiDe versus ToD taking place here on Concealed Hill. Two men going at it, ToD spawning on the bottom left hand. Meanwhile over here on the top right, SaiDe uh, spawning as the blue night elf. SaiDe also known as the Dream Crusher, the Party Pooper. All right, is that unofficial names? The Hype Quencher. And I don't know much about SaiDe, but apparently he has a lot of nicknames. As we're going into an Altar of Elders, Moonwell, and also Ancient of War. This particular opening should be pretty standard. Pretty standard here. Keeper of the Grove, followed by Archers. Need to check something real fast. Yeah, this game taken from what Warcraft 3 Finals Season 4 in Europe, for all of you guys wanting to know where this game is from. And, well, we are already looking at the Keeper of the Grove coming across, and Ancient of War about to train up some Archers. Meanwhile, down to the south, Archmage already being trained up here as we are going into Footman. Night Elf has -1 army. Yeah, it's because there's a wisp inside the Ancient of War that doesn't count to your supply, but is still considered a harvester and a worker. And we didn't get to see Lucifer versus Grubby or Grubby versus ToD because he did so well. Nothing against him, of course. Good for him. Hence the nicknames. All right, gonna go ahead and, well, make our way back here. Ancient of War gonna go ahead and absorb a large amount of damage. Keeper of the Grove gonna pop back out. Footman, well, fighting against a Wisp, gonna be able to push him back. Meanwhile, we're looking at the Archmage with Militia coming in from ToD, just clearing out a 4-3-3 creep camp the rather old-fashioned way, not trying to go after any sort of fast expansion attempt. Interesting choices here as the Keeper of the Grove also just doing a little, just playing it close and keeping it, I guess, a little bit easier on the game, not trying to go for any heavy harassment as of yet. Down to the south here, ToD gonna go ahead and finish off this 4-1-1 creep camp, this giant sea turtle creep camp, giving level to the Archmage, which is really when that Archmage gets online. Off to the north here, Keeper of the Grove, Claws of Attack +5, Cloak of Shadows units. Well, just working together here. Meanwhile, back down to the south, Water Elementals should really just get finished off by ToD to try and deny some experience, unless he's attempting to clear out some more difficult creep camps with these low hit point Water Elementals, which does make a bit of sense. All right, Wisp coming in from the north here, going to actually be forced to back up. Does SaiDe know that, well, there is no expansion as of yet? One Footman gonna just get entangled and have a slow death. Keeper of the Grove now, well, marching in from the north. Once again, Militia getting cleared on over, as we could be trying to perhaps get in some detonations as well. Keeper of the Grove going to get in some damage. Are we going to see perhaps any sort of Trents join in on the fight? That is the question there. I believe there was a last hit steal coming in from SaiDe there. Is that going to continue to happen here as the Footmen are now trying to fight back here? One Footman going up against a Null Overseer by himself. One peon of ToD was actually got entangled, as opposed to having a Footman entangle. A little bit interesting there, as we're now going to see another low hit point Footman perhaps get taken out. Is it going to be denied? Yes, it will, as the Null Overseer does take down a poor peasant there. 4-footy's kind of greedy, yep, as the Null Overseer going to try to clear out the remainder of this creep camp. Keeper of the Grove still just going after Militia and trying to make his opponent pay a little bit. Pendant of Energy and Archmage now at level 3. This could go very poorly for SaiDe now all of a sudden. ToD now coming back the other way. Level 2 Water Elementals. Footman could be getting defend as well, as the chase is back off to the north. All right. We are still looking at, 4 or 3 Archers, 1 Footman. There goes another quick entangle. Archmage shows up to the party, perhaps going to try to get some damage. We're going to see a denial of that Footman. It doesn't look like it. The Keeper of the Grove, I believe, got that experience there, as the Water Elementals and Archmage are going to look to, do a little bit of creeping while they are here. Archmage at level 3 has Cloak of Shadows, has a Pendant of Energy. That Pendant of Energy doesn't represent very much right now, but it represents an extra 100 mana to ToD's Mountain King when it comes back out, when it comes out into play. Archers get into position here, and well, the expansion down to the south doesn't have any real danger of getting pressured. The Keeper of the Grove and the Archers here, I don't think we'll be able to well, beat back this line, as the Keeper of the Grove, even with all of its entangles and trying to just trying to finish off these units, gonna end up falling. But SaiDe does end up getting a Brewmaster already, and a Brewmaster all of a sudden changes the way the wind blows, as that Breath of Fire is gonna, well, start to add up onto those footmen, and well, that damage is just gonna start to stack more and more. Archers gonna be hiding behind that panda here. Arcane Tower already under upgrade potential, and what is gonna end up happening? ToD just started upgrading this tower, but I don't believe SaiDe knows this. There's that Breath of Fire across multiple units, and that damage is gonna add up. We still don't see an Arcane Vault anywhere here, which is incredibly important, as the Brewmaster has another Breath of Fire perhaps in the tank still. All right, are we going to see a Breath of Fire here? There goes another Breath of Fire. Going to add in a little bit of damage. A denial again. ToD doing a great job constantly denying these footmen throughout this matchup. And now that the Brewmaster is low on mana, not going to be able to, well, blow over any more of these, well-footed footmen. Keeper of the Grove backing away. Archmage sitting at level 3 has enough mana for another Water Elemental, just trying to zone his opponent out of this position and gain the economic advantage that this gold mine is supposed to provide him. That sudden addition of that panda, well, very strong choice of play right there, as ToD was doing a good job holding back his opponent from being able to put pressure. But it seemed like SaiDe, not knowing how much time was left on this Arcane Tower on the upgrade, was enough to cause a bit of an issue. ToD here not actually creating space between these towers, as the peasants are going to be actually walking around this Arcane Tower here, as we are now going into a blacksmith for riflemen and perhaps mortar teams. SaiDe is attempting to set up an expansion of his own. The Tree of Life gonna, well, be able to eat some trees and then regenerate some hit points while entangling this gold mine. Keeper of the Grove staying at level 2. Panda will stay at level 1. Also has a Talisman of Evasion, which could perhaps open up SaiDe to try and go for Drunken... Drunken... Oh my gosh, I can't even think of the skill right now. Not Drunken Brawler. Drunken Haze. There we go. All right. Panda now sitting at, well, 70 mana. Thank you for the host. Panda now trying to back up here. Are we going to turn back around, get a good Breath of Fire across all of those units? There are a bunch of low hit point footmen. There's a Breath of Fire finishing off one footman in the corner as the units are still trying to engage. Footmen with, well, defend, able to continue to push back the other side once more, as the footmen are still very slow. What is going on here? ToD is just attacking with his army all across the map. Dryads are trying to get added back into this fight here, as low hit point footmen are actually walking into a single file line of 2 heroes and 4 archers. Damage is adding back up. The Keeper of the Grove should be able to finish off some of those units here, as ToD is going to end up losing quite a bit of units, but still denying the units over time. All right, there go. Wow, that ToD that footman able to reflect back 3 attacks before ending up getting denied right there. Archmage of ToD gonna try and finish off another Dryad. There goes another one, as the Archmage gets up to level 4. Level 3 Keeper of the Grove. Level 2 Panda trying to hold off against all of these footmen. ToD sitting with all of these units off to the side here. Archers are trying to retreat back as well. Are we going to see another Breath of Fire perhaps just blow over those footmen and then make it difficult to retreat? All right, 1 footman down. Another footman will get taken down. Doesn't even need the mana for it. Archmage is off here sitting at level 4. We are looking at the Moon Wells completely bone dry. Dryads now trying to back away as more footmen are joining in onto the fight. 42 supply compared to 38. All right. Panda out onto the battlefield. Archmage. Both my girls are 2 of my 3 daughters are currently watching me cast. Keeper of the Grove coming back onto the battlefield. Another Breath of Fire being used, coupled with an Entangle. And really, SaiDe needs to use some Moonstones to try and get some Moonwell juice going and flowing once more. Low hit point Footman able to back away again. Archmage trying to go after the Dryad, down to 167 hit points. Well, interesting position as all of a sudden the Water Elemental may be able to finish off that Dryad right there. Archmage uses Cloak of Shadows in broad daylight, and that is going to be a bit of a problem as well. The Dryad trying to retreat all the way. Water Elemental moving a bit slow, and, well, will end up getting taken down. Archmage could have a very, well, going to take a little bit of damage, trying to make its way back through. Going to go after those Wisps now. Wisp taking a little bit of damage, a little bit of gold mine swapping as the Keeper of the Grove shows back up to the party. Are we going to get an Entangle onto the ToD? All of a sudden, ToD needs to use that Scroll of Town Portal in order to get back home. All right. Scroll of Town Portal back down. Pendant should be given to the Mountain King. There it goes. Mountain King all of a sudden has 325 mana. More Footmen are going to be rejoining in on the fight. ToD has not been able to save his Footmen to use that Scroll of Regeneration to heal them back up, but he has been denying Footman after Footman throughout this matchup, limiting the Brewmaster to level 2 and that Keeper of the Grove to level 3. Coming on over, SaiDe going to be joining or having a Goblin Shredder join in on the fight here, finish off a handful of these units as the Archmage and the Mountain King ready, well, to put in a bit more pressure again. Mountain King ready to go up against the Rock Golems here. Water Elemental going to absorb a little bit of damage. There's a boulder onto the Archmage, down to 340 hit points as it is forced to back away. Priest now joining in on the fight here. ToD's always been a player that actually prefers Priest over Scrolls of Regeneration overall, as you know you're going to be going for Priest, so it almost feels like a little bit of a waste to try and get that Arcane Vault and then go for that Scroll of Regeneration, knowing that you're going to have a better healing opportunity a bit later. With that said, he does want the Clarity Potions, and hence the reason why that Arcane Vault is there. Are we also going to be looking at Spellbreakers? That is the question as well, as an army of just Footmen and Priest generally does not bode well going up against a Night Elf army. Alright, Panda now finally at level 3 has a potion of greater healing, but a little bit of a fight going down over here at the red center creep camp. Ogre Lord comes across here trying to engage here. A big thunderclap hitting down a lot of SaiDe units as he is trying to retreat back. Beautiful Staff of Preservation saving that bear right there, as we now see an Entangle go down onto that Ogre Lord. Is the Ogre Lord perhaps going to try and retreat back? It does not look like it. Cloak of Flames picked up by that Brewmaster. Not the item that he was looking for, but he will use it at least for now. Druids of the Claw should be going back into Druid form, perhaps try to get in a couple of heals once more. Meanwhile, Mountain King, Clarity Potion. Oh, don't walk by them. Mountain King gets love tapped by the Ancient of War, being forced to use another Clarity Potion there. We're looking at a Demon Hunter third coming in from SaiDe here. SaiDe with a Demon Hunter third should be able to get off a lot of mana burns. The Mountain King, however, does have a decent amount of mana, even though it is only at level 2. We should be looking at perhaps some Storm Bolts to try and deny mana burns, and mana burns to try and deny Storm Bolts. It may come down to who is able to land that first ability. The Mountain King is also much closer to level 3 than that Demon Hunter, which does make a big difference overall. All right, trying to aggro some more creeps as well. Paladin sitting at level 1. In comes the fight here. Knights coming across as the Panda may come across from the side and perhaps get off with some Breath of Fire. Are we going to see some Breath of Fire? Oh, Stormbolt, Staff of Preservation. The Stormbolt did land onto its target, but, well, the Brewmaster is safe back at home. All right, more engagement again. Red Drake going after ToD's Sorceress right there. Sorceress trying to back away, finally pulling aggro onto that Water Elemental instead, as this creep camp should get cleared up pretty quick. 79 supply compared to 74. We are in the maximum upper range of a low upkeep battle, as Trent will be joining in on the fight. Level 3 now onto the Mountain King. Level 2 onto the Paladin. Archmage sitting at level 4. Mountain King looking for a target to try and Stormbolt, And is it going to find anything here? Perhaps a trailing druid of the claw. All right, waiting for that stormbolt and a staff of preservation. Nope, there's the staff of preservation, but just a little bit late. SaiDe not quite on top of things this time around. Brewmaster already retreated back home here. We're looking at 80 supply compared to 79. We are looking at double fairy dragons in the air. Mana Flare online here momentarily. This is a large number of Druids of the Claw. Only a one Dryad to try and stop those water elementals as in comes the battle. All right, Mana Burn straight up onto the Paladin. Mountain King throws down a Thunderclap just in, to slow down all of those bears. No rifle this fire. Mortar team's going to go ahead and continue to lob that damage. Big AoE damage as the Mountain King already out of mana still. All right, are we going to see a Staff of Preservation or are we going to see a dead, dead Knight right there? No Staff of Sanctuary as all of a sudden ToD being forced to retreat back here. No more mana on that Mountain King as the bears were able to rip their way through that entire fight. All right. Brewmaster, Cloak of Flames, a little bit low on mana. Demon Hunter, are we perhaps going to try and use the Fountain of Health? Yes, we are. Using that Fountain of Health to heal back up. And now, well, getting some rejuvenations onto the Druids of the Claw. That actually seems like a little bit of a waste here. If you are going to be going to the Fountain of Health, you don't need the rejuvenation. Just stick there for a little bit longer, and then you have a on. However, ToD not resting at all, going straight for this other Fountain of Health over here at the 4 o'clock position, hoping to get to level 5 on the Archmage, and now walking into battle with the Staff of Sanctuary to protect those high investment Knights. Ogre Magi going to get taken down here. Paladin getting closer to level 3, but is going to be quite a bit shy as the Mountain King also taking some of that precious experience as well. Roar. Chimeras being brought over. The Chimeras do not have the ground attack at all for the ranged siege attack, as we're looking at the Archmage getting entangled and in trouble. Once more, ToD is in trouble, being forced to constantly retreat, and Scrolls of Town Portal are rather expensive get out of jail free cards, as they should be. And well, ToD has been burning through them just to get out of unfavorable spots. Chimera is now trying to go into that backline spot, perhaps going after some of those Knights. Bears against Knights, Thunderclap in that front line, slowing down the Bears. Roar, however, adding in a little bit of bonus damage for the Chimeras, as we may see some of ToD's Knights getting melted away by Chimeras here, but the Chimeras themselves are being melted at the hands of Flying Machines as they are trying to back away. Staff of Sanctuary saving a unit as we see Breath of Fire blowing over a Knight once again. Archmage gets up to level 5. Mortar team's just splatting the entire black line of Dryad. 68 supply compared to 66. An absolute blood battle going here as the Mountain King could get stuck here in just a moment. Flying Machines going after the Fairy Dragons. Fairy Dragons, are they going to be able to take them down? No, they are not. Another Breath of Fire finishing up some more units, and this could just be enough damage eventually. Breath of Fire could be coming across from the Brewmaster, perhaps taking down more of those units, perhaps even taking down a Knight. Yes, it does. Blows over another Knight. Breath of Fire really adding in a lot of that damage. Chimera is trying to go after the remaining couple of units here. Mana Burn onto the Paladin. No more here. Mountain King trying to fight back as well. 51 supply compared to 76, as SaiDe is just doing such a great job continuing with this relentless pressure, but a lot of his units are low on hit points as we see a Chimera get taken down there. 71 supply compared to 54 still. Mountain King getting mana burned and entangled for all of his efforts, as the Mountain King unable to land those Thunderclaps easily. Demon Hunter now trying to retreat back. Level 3 on that Demon Hunter. He got there in a rather of a hurry, being able to now burn 100 mana easily and shut down the main abilities of that Paladin and that Mountain King. 5-4-3 for ToD, going up against 4-4-3 for SaiDe, as we're looking at a bunch of heals getting in as well. All right. One Ancient Protector here at the Center Hill Gold Mine. That is important to see. Keeper of the Grove went for Thorns Aura. Yep, Keeper of the Grove went for Thorns Aura over level 3 Trents. Entangle really not gonna be killing off any unit. At this point, it's just the shutdown of that unit and the event, and being able to finish off the units with your remaining army. All right, reflecting back a little bit of that damage. Well, in the night battle, we've seen Keeper of the Grove. Thank you for the follow. We've seen Keeper of the Grove use Thorns Aura in the past in a Night Elf versus Night Elf mirror match, and now it does make sense in this battle here, where we've seen Knights try to line up that front line to try and protect all of these Sorceress, Priest, and Mortar teams. The question is the Thorns Aura gonna be making enough of a difference, as we've also seen that Breath of Fire from the Brewmaster blow over a couple of Knights pretty quick. ToD is currently sitting at 50 supply, and this is calculated. He was trying to bank up as much gold as he could, getting up to 1200 gold before finally getting into 67 supply, but those are all units in training. 17 supply of units in training, and that's going to be another 30 seconds before those units are out onto the battlefield, and then still perhaps not in the right position. Trents are going to go ahead and clear out some of these kobolds off to the side, get in a little bit more bonus experience as well. Been watching your YouTube videos on and off for more than 6 years. Finally caught the stream. Well, after 6 years being able to catch a stream, thank you for joining. Hope you are enjoying all of the content as we're looking at the Mountain Giants and, well, make their way through. 80 supply compared to 71. Mortar teams are very well protected in the backside here. Flying Machine should be able to get in and shut down the Fairy Dragon's Mana Flare, even though they do have maximum armor at 2-3 upgrades. Looking for that little bit of final pressure here. The Hippogriff should be able to take down those Flying Machines pretty easily, as well as the Knights, well, with 2-3 upgrades themselves. Are we going to be getting a Blacksmith for that 3-3 upgrade? Nope, no additional upgrades at this time. We're looking at 80 over 100. Is he going to be able to push through again? More Mortar teams getting added back in. ToD being able to get back into a nearly maximum supply army for low upkeep. That upper range once more. All right, a lot of trails, a lot of footprints being left behind, as the main gold mines have already been mined out. Tree of Eternity is already on the move, and, well, when that Tree of Eternity moves, Staff of Preservation loses much of its effectiveness. Those units are not going to be teleported back home right next to those Moonwells to be rejoined or to rejoin in on the fight immediately. Instead, we're looking at the Tree of Eternity now making its way towards the center portion of the map, and this is going to perhaps force a battle in the center portion here, as the Mountain King, well, is invisible. Staff of Sanctuary is also on the Mountain King as well. Double Staff of Sanctuary to try and protect those Knights, as the Mountain King, well, what is going on here? There's a flare as well. Oh, a beautiful thunderclap going across all those units. Couple of wisps, well, could have been lost there, but the slow onto that unit right there. All right, Mountain King had that invisibility. Are we going to see another invisibility? Yes, we are. The sorceresses, well, are master trained. This is going to be a big deal. Scroll of Protection quickly being used. Mana Flare, a bunch of damage being thrown in from the back. ToD's Mortar teams are just going to make all of those Dryads go splat. We're looking at the Wisp trying to detonate onto that back line, and they're finding some of those targets, as we are looking at still more Knights in the center getting absolutely destroyed. Dryad after Dryad getting destroyed here. Where are the Mountain Kings? And where are the unit Mountain King off to the side here? Are we going to see another good, long, strong storm or thunderclap come in here, as the Archmage sitting at level 5? Mortar teams are all destroyed. 76 supply compared to 66 compared to 76. Demon Hunter now back here. That Staff of Preservation didn't remove him much from the battle, as the Mortar teams are trying to retreat away from those Chimeras. Chimeras, however, did have slow. Mountain King needs to trail back here. ToD, perhaps angry, the angry, upset Frenchman. And there we go. I accidentally scrolled in, and now I am stuck here. 67 supply compared to 78. Every time. It happens every time. All right, Archmage making its way back over. I'm gonna make its way through. Are we looking at perhaps Scroll of Healing, Mana Flares? Well, the Mortar team's getting in some splash damage already. Knights in position. Well, Mana Burn onto that Paladin already. Mountain King wants to get in a Thunderclap, gets in that Thunderclap, could slow down that Demon Hunter. Staff of Preservation saves Demon Hunter again. He is currently out of the battle. More mortar teams in the back as the militia joining in on the fight. A big thunderclap slowing down multiple units once more as SaiDe quickly says, you know what, I do not want to be in this fight. And there goes the entire army once again in that tactical retreat. 71 supply compared to 80. Scroll of Town Portal to the center. Army is already here, ready to go. No Moonwells in the center, but one Ancient Protector as the Night Elf goes into high upkeep. Back off to the side here, Demon Hunter is healing back up at that Fountain of Health. We are looking at an Archmage trying to push on through. Mortar team should be able to lob enough damage onto that Ancient Protector, removing a little bit of that home field advantage as the, well, Ancient Protector could get taken out. How come it looks like it's just not getting attacked that much? Finally, taking some of that damage. It's starting to add up as the Water Elemental in that frontline spot may get detonated. Chimera is going to go ahead and engage. Here we are. Mountain King low on mana, not able to get any Thunderclaps. And the Demon Hunter comes in from behind from the fountain, going after that precious back line. Scroll of Healing is used. Staff of Sanctuary used by the Archmage, continuing to fight more pressure. 82 supply compared to 73 as ToD is just having a difficult time trying to fight back this army. Still down by 9 supply, continuing to fight here. Dryads are going to get splatted here in just a moment. Just 1 or 2 more attacks. There goes another round as just there goes another, and Dryad after Dryad's going to fall, but ToD still gives the well played as we see the final score so close. The heroes really making the difference in the end. That level 1 Demon Hunter getting quickly to level 3, then being able to shut down all 3 of the enemy human heroes. Great game going back and forth. Staff of Preservation use. I know, and I'm just wondering why you're making so much noise right next to me. Dropping things. My daughter's startling me by dropping things right next to me and saying, oh, don't worry, it didn't break. Did she bump? Okay, at least she picked it up. Lost. Train of thought gone. All right. Great. Oh, I guess I just sign off here, trying to recap that game. Really good game between the two Frenchmen playing very strong. ToD being able to rebuild his army. I would have liked to seen a little bit more riflemen, but the use of the mortar teams was absolutely spot on, dealing with the Dryads. The Bears versus the Knights really strong as well, but it really felt like the Night Elf with as soon as it got that panda early in the game, it just started to just continue to press an incremental advantage. That slight advantage early on and adding up that damage, pushing ToD all the way back into his side of the map. Opened up his game. He was able to set up an expansion as well with the Tree of Life, following ToD's expansion, really not falling behind economically at all. And then his timing on taking that concealed hill location, first establishing that Ancient Protector to make sure that his opponent didn't have an expansion there, and then eventually moving that Tree of Life to get that final economic advantage, really finished it up. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.